Mayor Donches,
Here?
Commissioner Tease,
Present.
Commissioner Moriarty,
Here.
and Commissioner Shoneman.
Here.
And Commissioner Pappas is unable to be here this evening.
And we also have
This afternoon.
Commissioner-elect Lemon. And I see Commissioner-elect Shea on the line. So welcome. On the line meaning Zoom. All right, our first motion is, our first issue is to approve the agenda as presented. Commissioner Moriarty,
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
any discussion? All, excuse me, we can, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Next is the motion regarding the minutes of the special meeting. Commissioner Tease,
I move to approve the minutes of the Board of Public Works special meeting of November 4, 2021.
any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Next is the motion regarding the minutes of November 18. Commissioner Shoneman,
I move to approve the minutes of the Board of Public Works meeting of November 18, 2021.
any discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Public comment. Is there any member of the public who would like to address the Board of Public Works? If not, we'll go on to the next issue, which is a discussion from Mr. Mansfield, who will come up to the podium. The background is that Commissioner, when we were looking at buying Public Works vehicles at the last meeting, they included the cost of a radio for a significant number of $5,000. Commissioner Shoneman was asking, about that necessity. And we said, so we passed them, but we said we would bring in our communications expert, Bill Mansfield, to talk about how the radio system works and why the cost is as much as it is. And obviously he can explain and answer questions. So,
Thank you, Mayor. Bill Mansfield, I'm the radio systems manager for the city. I'm not sure exactly all the questions that came about out of that last particular meeting, but right now, the city's radio system is to give you a little background, is a 3-site simulcast radio system. It's shared by everybody within the city, all entities, DPW, fire, police, transit, EMS, schools. And right now you have, with the Public Works, you have 156 mobile radios, and you have 89 portable radios that are assigned or in the inventory to the Public Works Department. The way the system works is basically they can have radio communications throughout the city and even outside the borders of the city and communicate back to anybody within the city. They can talk from, like I said, one end of the city to the other end of the city with no problems whatsoever. It's a secure system. The only way that anybody can get on the system is if their radio is programmed with a what we call a system key, a secure key, that prevents anybody from just jumping on and having any type of radio communications on the radio system itself. As far as the Public Works Department, they have what we call talk groups. The landfill has a talk group, wastewater has a talk group, street department has a talk group, parks has a talk group, and those, they can talk with each other on those talk groups without any interference from anybody else within the city. If they decide that all their radios are programmed where they can switch from one talk group to another talk group, so parks can go to streets and streets can go to landfill and whatever may need to happen to have the communication that they want. Also, in the radio, we're programmed what we call interoperability channels. They're programmed in every radio in the city, so that any entity can go to those channels, police, fire, whoever it may be, schools, and the Public Works, and communicate with each other on those channels in case of emergency that happens. Like, once the EOC is open, we may have everybody go to one channel. If you have, during the fireworks, we have people all going to one channel. It's a shared channel for everybody to communicate back and forth. I'm not sure, is there any other specific?
There may be other questions, but one question that certainly came up was, why do the radios cost as much as $5,000 apiece?
Well, I don't set the price. The radios, because they are a trunked radio, it's a type of radio system that we have. They're not inexpensive radios. Well, the mobile radios that you have in the vehicles right now are probably, I want to say, 13 years old at least. They last a long time because they are rugged radios. The cost of the radios matter of fact, we just got a quote to cut the purchase order for the radios. They're about $3,400 a piece for the radios. And then you have the installation that goes along with that. That's approximately $400 per vehicle to have the radios installed. So I can't explain why the radios cost so much. I know that we get a 27% discount off of the list price of those radios when we purchase them. You know, like I said, it's all for privacy and having our own secure system within the city that allows us to operate the way we do today. So.
Now, before we go to questions, I will just offer just what I've learned over the years. Correct me if I'm wrong, that there's only one or two companies that manufacture the radios that have the features required, especially for the emergency services.
Correct.
And they kind of have a monopoly, and this is what they charge us, you know? I think that's kind of the way it goes, but.
If I can interject.
Yeah.
So the system's been in place for 21 years. Prior to the system being put in place 21 years ago, Public Works had their own radio system. Police had their own radio system. Fire had their own radio system. Schools had their own radio systems. And none of these radio systems could talk with each other. And the quality of the radio communications was very poor, because there were multiple antennas throughout the city with all these different entities. In some sections of the town, Public Works had better communications than Fire, and Fire had better than Police. And so that's why we decided to pool this all together to have better communications with each other in the city.
Okay. Anybody questions, comments? Commissioner Schoeneman.
So who manufactures the radios? Who do you buy them from?
I couldn't hear you, sir.
Who manufactures the radios? Who do you
Motor-
buy them from?
Motorola Solutions, and we buy direct from them because we're such a large customer.
Okay. And there's no other company that makes this type of radio?
There's no other company that makes this type of radio that can be on our system, correct? It's proprietary.
I see. Okay.
Commissioner Tease.
So, just more out of curiosity, as I just went through my own board meeting and got my budget approved, the price, as I recall, on the requisitions was up to $5,000. So what happens in that instance where we haven't allocated $5,000, we're spending $3,400 plus $400 or $3,800? That $1,200 doesn't go into another account that we can use for something else. We're literally just spending $3,400, or was $5,000 already allocated within the budget? How does that work?
This is coming out of the SURF account, right? Or, yeah.
I believe it is coming out of.
Coming out, so there's the so-called Capital Equipment Reserve Fund,
Okay.
from which equipment of significant equipment is purchased, and just the money would remain in the account.
Okay.
You know, it's a pool of money that's used to purchase citywide equipment.
Thank you.
Commissioner Moriarty.
Thank you. Yeah, just out of curiosity, again, are any other communications recorded?
For Public Works, no.
But for other agencies?
Yes, Police and Fire have recordings on theirs. Yes.
Anyone else? Any other questions? All right, well, the monopoly situation, of course, is a sore point, and the cost is a sore point, but if we want the product, this is what we have to pay, I guess is the conclusion, All right, thank you.
All right,
Thank you,
thank you very
Bill.
much. Have a good day.
All right. The, next, we have solid waste. Item A, Commissioner Moriarty.
Move to approve a contract with Claire Span Fabric Structures International of Glastonbury, Connecticut, in the amount of $352,375 to construct a 65-foot wide by 220-foot long truss building to park the solid waste department's collection trucks under. Pricing is through Sourcewell contract number 091319-CSS. Funding for this contract is through Department 168 Solid Waste Fund Bond Activity SW Equipment Coverage Storage.
Mr. LaFleur?
Jeff LaFleur, Superintendent of Solid Waste. So this is a building similar to what we did over our recycling area to cover the recycling, but this will be for all of our trucks at the landfill. As you know, we've been trying to do this for a lot of years, just to get our vehicles out from underneath any of the weather and the snow, particularly the snow. It's hard for us to clean off the tops of the trucks, especially when we got to leave in the morning and go and drive down the roads. There's so many nooks and crannies with hoses and new boxes and CNG tanks, and they're a nightmare for cleaning off. So this building right here, we'd be setting it up in an area away from where the new DPW building is proposed to be built. But it's also a unit that if we ever want to move it, we can absolutely take it and move it to another part of the property, so it'll be used for years and years to come.
Questions, comments? All right, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Item B, Commissioner Tease.
I move to approve a change order to the contract with Sanborn Head and Associates, Inc. to prepare and submit an NHDES Type 2 permit modification, prepare plans, specifications, and bid documents, and perform bid phase services for the construction of the Phase 3 Stage 2 line landfill expansion in the amount not to exceed $91,000. Funding through Department 168 Solid Waste Fund Bond Activity Landfill Expansion Phase 3 and 4.
Jeff
ahead.
LaFleur, Superintendent of Solid Waste. So we started filling in Phase 3. We're actually coming up to an area where now we have to do our Stage 2, which is considered, or it's called the zigzag. It's going to add us another 2 to 3 years of airspace by doing this. This money that we're asking here for is to get this in front of DES. As you know, when we went for Phase 3 to get that permitted, it took us years, and a couple years to get that approved. We need to get this moving fast so we can get it into their system and hopefully get it approved quickly so I can get that 2 years of airspace that's needed.
Anyone? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item C, Commissioner Shonin.
I move to approve a change order to the contract with Sanborn Head and Associates Incorporated to complete the process of permitting the Phase 4 line landfill with NHDES. Prepare construction plans, specifications, bid documents, and perform bid phase services in the amount not to exceed $210,000. Funding will be through the Department 168 Solid Waste Fund Bond Activity Landfill Expansion Phase 3 and 4.
Mr. LaFleur?
Jeff LaFleur, Superintendent of Solid Waste. So this is the Phase 4 permit that we're trying to go for to get this completed. We're anticipating only the $210,000. We've been working on this for over a year now, and we're still kind of in the same spot that we were before. Spent a lot of money on this. Again, it's DES that's been really being a thorn in our side trying to get this permit approved. So Sanborn Head has been working very diligently on this, trying to get us moving forward, and this is going to be the next part of it. We've had a lot of questions from the first submittal. We're answering them as quick as we can to get this through, but again, this is airspace that will gain us, 30-plus years of airspace. We're fighting hard to get it for the city of Nashua.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
We're now, thank you very much. Now we're on to the wastewater department, Mr. Boucher. Item A, Commissioner Moriarty.
The motion is to approve the approve the user warrants as presented.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. We actually do not, this is the first time this has ever happened, but we don't have any user warrants to approve tonight, this evening. So,
All right, so we'll get rid of item A, and we'll go to item B.
Mr. Boucher, can you speak to the reason why? I move to approve the contract with Wright Pierce to provide preliminary design plans and specifications for the dry well valve and pipe replacement project in an amount not to exceed $105,800. Funding for this contract will be through Department 169 wastewater, Fund wastewater, Activity WW, Plant Dry Well Valve Replacement.
Thank you. Dave Boucher, wastewater superintendent. So this project is to replace all the large piping at the head of our wastewater facility, where all the flow from the city comes into our facility and gets pumped up to ground level. The piping's large, 36 inches. We have a lot of valves that need to be replaced. We had a 20-year plan. During that 20-year plan, we had some pipe thickness testing done, and it showed some wear on the piping that's been there since the 70s. So this is to replace it. This one is for the preliminary work, engineering work for that project. And it's important that this get done because we have to bypass the flow while we do this work. And our average flow is around 12 million gallons a day. We can take in 50 million gallons a day, so it's crucial that we find a way to bypass the flow to do this work. And it has to be lifted up to ground level through hatches and all that, so there's a lot to it. So this is to hire Wright Pierce to do the work, who was involved in the original 20-year plan. So they've already done some work, which lowers this cost. This is kind of phase one of the project.
Anybody? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, item C, Commissioner Shoneman.
I move to approve the purchase of one digester sludge heat exchanger, asset ID PDSHX, in the amount of $57,000 from Alpha Laval Incorporated of Richmond, Virginia, for the primary digester. Funding will be through Department 169 wastewater, Fund WRF, account classification 81 capital equipment.
Dave Boucher, wastewater superintendent. So this is a piece of equipment that has reached its useful life. It's already starting to show wear. We just did a repair to it, but we do have it in our equipment replacement fund to replace it. This is a piece of equipment that heats up the sludge in our 1.3 million gallon digester, so it's a crucial piece of equipment. This is an in-kind replacement because everything has to match up, so this is the company that, not too many companies sell this piece of equipment.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Motion passes. Thank you. Now on to engineering. Item A, which is Commissioner Moriarty.
Move to approve the sewer service permits and fees as submitted.
All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item B, Commissioner Tease.
I move to approve the following poll license petitions. PSNH number 21-1551, 21-1600, and 21-1601.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item C is an informational item, which is in the packet. Street opening permits issued for streets in moratorium. We're now on to administration, and we have two informational items to be handled by Director Photo.
yes. So the first, I just wanted to point out to you that there has been an increase in our CNG, and this was approved by the Board of Aldermen. And the price has gone from $2.199 a gallon to $2.49 a gallon. And that's, the total amount is really an increase of about 50,000 for the city. Many of the buses also run on CNG, so I think that the Public Works is about half of this amount, so it's about a $25,000 increase, so, in the cost of CNG. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
And the director's report?
Diana,
Unless
you-
anyone has comments or questions about that. If not, we'll do the director's report.
Okay, so the first is, we want to congratulate Wayne Husband from our engineering department, and also Doug Starr from wastewater, on earning Road Scholar designations. They were given New Hampshire Road Scholar clocks in recognition of their participation in the program. So congratulations to them. The 2021 paving program, of course, is wrapped up for the winter. We did 107 sidewalk ramps that were either installed or reconstructed, and Sunshine Paving provided loam and seed to complete the ADA ramp on Northeastern Boulevard. And the final paving of Harris Road at the intersection of East Dunstable was completed on November 17th. As part of the 2021 sewer replacement contract, SUR West replaced a portion of the 8-inch 1892 sewer and installed a manhole on East Pearl Street near the Main Street intersection on November 15th. So that's some of the, our sewers in the inner city, I date back to the 1800s, so they're really old. SUR West replaced the 1876 sewer and associated structures on East Hollis Street near the Main Street intersection. Nighttime construction was required due to the heavy traffic volumes. Another sewer repair to a 1940 clay sewer that crosses the Nashua Country Club property at 25 Fairway Street. The pipe was damaged by the installation of a guide wire to support a utility pole. So that was fixed. We did remove a tree that actually Commissioner Pappas had asked us to remove a while ago, and that was finally removed. So there's a resident, it's near Navajo Park, and it was in danger of coming down. So there was a resident who was very pleased with that. We had Santa in the Park, which was another wonderful event on Saturday, December 5th. We had about 400 participants between 12 and 2 in the Greeley Park band shell. We had a social distance, and I know Commissioner Schoeneman and her family participated, so thank you for that. I have some sad news to report. Joe Anderson, who was our fleet foreman, passed unexpectedly on December 6th. And we miss him greatly. Joe was, he worked for AFSCME as a mechanic for many years. He was the AFSCME president. And I'll go out on a limb saying this. I think he probably was the best AFSCME president that I've worked with. He did a tremendous job. I really enjoyed working with him. He did a great job as our fleet foreman, and he was in the anticipation that John Stewart, our fleet manager, is going to be retiring. He was looking forward to applying for that position. So we're very saddened by the loss of Joe, and our condolences go out to his wife Cece and his daughter Megan. This crews repaired a failing double catch basin on Jensen Street. Crews demolished, we demolished the old fire training ground at the landfill. Many of you probably know the fire department built a brand-new training ground, so this was condemned, so we took it down for them. We installed a new tip down as part of a new flashing crosswalk sign installation at the corner of Eastman and East Dunstable Road. We did a shim patch on a low area behind the new school on Franklin Street to eliminate some standing water. and potential ice issues this winter. This is mechanics we don't highlight often enough are pictured here. They're repairing a solid waste truck. We are working right now on expanding the gas collection system, where we have installed 7 horizontal collectors, 5 leachate cleanouts, and 1,200 feet of main header line for gas. The solid waste department would like to remind everyone that gift boxes and corrugated cardboard boxes may be flattened and recycled. And also do not put, wrapping paper should be put in the trash. Used wrapping paper should be put in the trash, and also any of the packing peanuts, those cannot be recycled. Those should also be put in the trash, just as a reminder. Our Christmas tree collection will be picked up curbside between Monday, January 3rd through Friday, January 14th. They should be placed curbside, not on snowbanks, not buried in snowbanks, please, or frozen to the ground. On all lights, tinsel, stand, ornament, all of that needs to be removed. Okay, so just make sure it's readily accessible for us. The excess holiday trash will be picked up during the week after Christmas. The extra trash pickup will run from Monday, December 27th through Friday, December 31st. So please just place extra bags curbside, again, not on any snowbanks, and at least 3 feet from your trash barrel. And this is really important, and please help us get the word out that the Fort Hills Landfill and Natural Recycling Center will be open on Friday, December 24th, Christmas Eve, but the offices will be closed. Okay, so the recycling center will be open. We'll be picking up trash on Christmas Eve, but our offices will be closed. All curbside collection will be on normal schedule that week. We will be closed, however, on Saturday, December 25th for Christmas Day. And the same thing will happen on New Year's. So we'll be open on Friday, December 31st, New Year's Eve, but we will be closed on Saturday, January 1st for New Year's Day. And all curbside collection will be, again, on normal schedule that week. And that's it.
All right, questions, comments? I do have a question, maybe for either Director Photo or Mr. Boucher, which is, you mentioned the packing peanuts. We now have those, the ones that dissolve in water. Is it better to dissolve those and have them run them through the treatment plant, or is it better just to throw them in the garbage?
I can answer that. Throw them in the garbage, please.
I'd say
Don't-
throw them in the garbage.
Yes, don't put
Most of them are
anything-
cellulose now, yeah.
Yeah,
So
don't-
they will dissolve to almost nothing, but better in the trash than in the wastewater.
Yes. Don't put anything in wastewater
That's
except
right.
the obvious.
Thank you.
All right, good. Well, I've been arguing with my wife over that one, so I thought I'd ask that. All right. Hope she's not listening. All right. So, Commissioners' comments. We didn't, did we get to that? Did I call that? Commissioners'
no,
comments.
Commissioner
Commissioner Tease.
This is my last meeting as elected official for the city of Nashua. As a commissioner, it's been just a wonderful experience, and I want to thank everybody that helped me from day one through today. It's obvious there are many different opinions and thoughts, but there's lots of passion for our community, and I think we've got a great team, both at the commissioner level as well as Lisa and superintendents, and look forward to the next phase. I might not be here physically, but I'll be watching, and certainly look forward to going into that new building once it's up and running. So thanks for making me feel welcome, and best wishes to Commissioners Lemon and Shea, and also congratulations to Commissioner Pappas, who I think was a 12-year commitment. Is that right?
No, 14.
14-year commitment, which is just outstanding. And I wish her well as well. So, thank you.
All right, well, along those lines, thank you for your service, and Commissioner Pappas. Unfortunately, she could not be here today, but we have, and it's been, of course, a pleasure to work with you, Frank, and you did a great job. We have a plaque for you, go along with your badge. And a jacket. You can put your badge right on there.
Cool, thank
It'll
you.
be really quite exciting. So the plaque says, presented to Commissioner G. Frank Tees, Board of Public Works, 2018 to 2021. In recognition and appreciation of your leadership, dedication to the city of Nashua, to the Public Works Division, and to its staff for constantly championing the division and infrastructure improvements in Nashua. This is presented today on behalf of the Board of Public Works members, and we've got all the other members' names on here. And we have one of these for Commissioner Pappas as well, which we will, and a jacket or vest, and we will deliver that to her, but I'll give you these now.
You don't know how cool this is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It occurred to me that Commissioner Moriarty and Shoneman may also like a vest, so if you'd like one, I'll bring one next meeting.
Yeah. All right, they want a picture.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, any other commissioners' comments? I don't, all right, no one else? All right, now there's a few other items we do need to do before we close the meeting, which are the personnel items. Item A, Commissioner Shoneman.
I move to accept the retirement of Edward Mazur, Groundsman 1, effective November 30th, 2021.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item B, Commissioner Moriarty.
Move to accept the retirement of Paul Westerway, equipment operator, street repair, effective December 31st, 2021.
All those any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item C, Commissioner Tees.
Move to accept the retirement of Richard Dion, truck driver, street repair, effective December 17th, 2021.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item D, Commissioner Shoneman.
I move to accept the resignation of Scott Law, wastewater foreman, effective December 13, 2021.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And item E, Commissioner Moriarty.
Move to approve and unseal the non-public minutes for personnel from the Board of Public Works meeting of November 18th, 2021.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. That seems to have included the business, and I will call upon Commissioner Tees to have the final word of the session of 2020 to 2022.
I have 3 words. Move to adjourn.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and the motion passes, and the meeting is adjourned at 4:36 PM.
Merry Christmas.
All right.